This boy had the ability to control any kind of machine. He saw two ATMs, then he suddenly came up with an idea. He walked over to the machine and put his hand on it. Not long after, a strange thing happened. The ATM dropped money automatically. Seeing that, Micah was overjoyed and quickly put the money in his pocket. After that, he controlled the machine again, and got $500. And the money kept falling out. In the evening, Micah took the bag of money and returned home. Seeing the son coming home late from going out, his father named Haiti was very angry. He scolded the boy all day for not paying attention to his studies. Micah listened silently, and then calmly opened the money bag. Seeing this, Haiti panicked and asked his son where this money came from. Not long after that, Micah's ability to control machines was also discovered. Meanwhile, Nathan was running for promotion. He told his assistant to trick Micah into the company. He promised Micah that as long as Micah helped him get promoted, he would give him 10 million. Hearing that, Micah agreed immediately. This was too simple for him. The assistant led Micah to the voting machine. Micah put his hand on the screen. After that, Nathan's votes were ranked first. Nathan successfully promoted. However, he had no intention of letting Micah go, because his superpower was so amazing. That afternoon, Micah's parents came to Nathan's office and wanted to take their son away. But Nathan immediately took out a gun and threatened them. For protecting the wife, Haiti was shot. Seeing that, Nikki was dumbfounded. Nathan was still threatening Nikki that he would keep shooting. But suddenly, Haiti stabbed Nathan through the head and killed him. After that, Nikki went up to the second floor and saw a woman who looked exactly like her in the room. While Nikki didn't understand anything, that woman rushed over to attack her. Nikki got very angry and knocked that woman out. So she fainted and revealed her true face. It turned out that she was Nathan's secretary. At this moment, there was a noise in the changing room. Nikki rushed to open the door. It turned out that Micah was locked inside. This boy was playing with his violin. Suddenly there was a police car appearing. The police then came down to arrest the boy and ask him where he stole the violin. At this moment, Matt came over. Seeing this, he advised the police to let the boy go. But the police advised him not to pay attention to this. "I'm not going," Matt said. The police immediately pulled out a gun and pointed it at Matt. At this point, Matt was extremely angry. He couldn't ignore it anymore. His finger suddenly gave off a spark. After that, through sparks, he lifted the two policemen into the air and then threw them down. He walked up to the two policemen and killed them with sparks. After that, Matt was about to leave, but he still felt his anger wasn't over. So he released a spark to destroy the police car. Matt was originally a normal person. A year ago, when Matt took his family to dinner, suddenly there were two policemen appearing and pulling him out of the car. After that, the two policemen forced him to get in their car. At this moment, there was a woman sitting in a police car looking at him and shaking her head. It turned out her wallet was stolen by a man. And the police suspected him to be the thief. Hearing that, Matt was very angry and felt humiliated. "While I drive such a luxury car, why did I steal her wallet?" This made Matt extremely angry, so his hidden superpower was awakened. At this moment, his eyes were white and the electric lights around him were blinking continuously. Matt wanted to knock out these two policemen. But when he thought about his family still sitting in the car and looking at him, he decided to ignore it. The next day, he found two policemen who slandered him. Without saying anything, he directly fired sparks at them. This huge current knocked out both policemen. Then he walked over and destroyed the police car. Meanwhile, this beautiful girl showed no fear at all. She was also very calm and happy. She was Ella, 15 years old. She often fought and stole. Her mother was a very strict person and often scolded her for bullying her younger siblings. Seeing this, her mother decided to send her to a reformatory. When getting there, she was so brave that she stood in front of a criminal's prison. She even teased him. But no matter how stubborn she was, the jailers also had a way. They then released the criminal from the cell and watched what she could do. Seeing that, Ella hurriedly stopped him with her hand. She told him to stay away from her, and even criticized him for having a bad smell. Hearing that, the criminal got closer and closer to her. The people around couldn't take it anymore. They hurriedly pulled that prisoner aside. Unable to use this method, the jailers decided to put Ella in the men's cell. They wanted to see if she was afraid or not. But unexpectedly, Ella directly cursed the criminals. She defeated 10 criminals alone. The situation completely changed. Someone who couldn't argue with Ella intended to hit her. Seeing that, she immediately rushed to fight him. The police rushed in to stop her and not allow her to hit others. So Ella's fault was increased. This method also didn't seem to be able to scare her, so the jailers decided to use the last resort. They decided to put Ella in a separate cell, where manure was composted for more than a month inside. Ella couldn't stand this stench. So she quickly gave up being stubborn, and decided to change herself to be a good child.